Hi guys. So the literary and film character I picked is getting a lot of hype right now because his second movie just came out this year, and he's in about 8 comic book titles right now. So this is Deadpool. I've been a diehard Deadpool fan since like 1996 ish. I mean, I really like Deadpool. I have art or figurines or comics of him in almost every room of my house. Like I had to take a Xanax before I saw the first movie because I was so excited I almost threw up. Like I really like Deadpool. It's a problem. But anyway, in his first issue, Deadpool was this relentless mercenary hired to kill a character named Cable. And he has this distinctive red and black suit and a ridiculous amount of guns and swords and pouches. And his characterization as a comic book villain was really interesting because he was so annoying from the beginning. Like he just constantly was cracking jokes, and um, that created this really great literary dichotomy because Cable was such a dour and serious guy, and he's full of man pain and burdened with regret. So they played off each other really well. And Deadpool has a lot of idiosyncrasies. He's just a weird guy. In his comic books, he talks to himself, and there are actually two internal voices that he consistently holds conversations with, and they're depicted in these little yellow and white boxes with different typefaces. So, like his internal monologue has its own speech bubbles. It's hysterical. And in comic books in general, speech bubbles are usually white, but Deadpool's are yellow, and this was initially done to convey his distinctive speaking voice. I think it was once described as sounding like gasoline and gravel. What makes Deadpool so compelling, I think, is not just that he is like an expert swordsman and marksman, trained in several different styles of martial arts. He's a skilled assassin. He's an incredible athlete, and he's a comedic genius. It's that he knows he's a comic book character. That he's constantly breaking the fourth wall in his comics by talking directly to the reader. He references other comic books, other comic book movies, other characters, even characters from other comic book companies like DC and Vertigo. And so he makes all these these pop culture references, and he reads other characters' comic books and references them when they're in his comics. It's hilarious. I think he's also unkillable, and so I won't give you his entire backstory, but he was given a healing factor, and so if he was wounded, he would just heal back up. But then he went and he annoyed this really powerful guy named Thanos. And if you guys are into movies at all, this is the same guy in the Avengers of Infinity War movie. So Thanos made it so that Deadpool couldn't die, which is really actually kind of sad because Deadpool kind of hates himself, and he's done some really terrible things, and um he's not really taking care of himself. He's not liked by very many people. He's got some mental health issues that are not really being addressed. So not being able to die means there's no end to that in sight. He is also disfigured. Like almost all superheroes and villains are like crazy good looking, and Deadpool's physique is ridiculous, but his healing factor is working overtime. So he had cancer, and so his cells are constantly regenerating. So he's actually just underneath his suit a swarming mass of scar tissue, and he's really self conscious about that. Like he even sleeps with his mask on. So and no one really knows if insane. I mean, most people think he's insane, but no one's really sure if he is as insane as he acts. He's clearly intelligent, but he says and does some of the most off the wall things all the time. And given the way that he got his powers, he's definitely got some PTSD. But some people wonder if he's just smart enough to play crazy so that people will underestimate him. So that's Deadpool in a nutshell. I think characterization is important in storytelling because it allows readers and audiences to relate to characters on different emotional levels. It also gives reasons why characters do the things they do and want the things they want. I think characterization brings characters to life, so we're able to live with them in their stories.